All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope that by this time we are properly caffeinated. My name is Mario, and I am a human. And I'm also part of the FOREO family, where people know me as the commercial director. And for the next 17 minutes or so, you're going to learn that I'm actually also a very big fan of human psychology. Now, you will be shocked because my talk is the only one today that does not include the acronym AI, except for that one. But I will not talk about AI. Instead, I will tell you how FOREO leveraged hardware to achieve a global customer base of 50 million users. Now, before we begin, I would just like to better understand the audience. So please raise your hands if you are a human. All right, thank you. Now raise your hands if you're an AI entity. Because that's discrimination, because they don't have arms, so they could raise. But that's good. This is a good split of the audience, because I will tell you how the story of FOREO relies on the most underserved condition in today's world, being human. Now today, it's not planned to be a masterclass on skincare, but we do have to dig a bit deeper into the product that started this wonderful story over 12 years ago. Meet the FOREO Luna, the first ever electrical silicone facial cleansing brush. Now, I have 4 more questions. I won't make you raise your arms throughout the whole presentation, but raise your hands if you clean your teeth every day. That explains the minty smell of the room. Please raise your hands if you wash your face every day. Almost everyone. I don't know what you do, but please raise your hands if you use a toothbrush to brush your teeth. Great. Oral-B must be very happy. Now, please raise your hands if you use a face brush to wash your face. Congratulations. Lots of potential new users. That's a great takeaway. But this is not surprising. The first ever mass production of the toothbrush dates back to the 18th century in the UK, ironically. But mainstream adoption doesn't happen until the 1940s. So that's almost 200 years between inception and adoption. And from that moment till today, that's more than 80 years of an established routine. Now, the first ever facial cleansing brush didn't come to the market until 2004. It was inspired by the toothbrush and its adoption as a non-negotiable staple of our everyday hygiene routine. This facial cleansing brush took the technology meant from our teeth and literally threw it to our faces. Meet Filip Sedic, founder and Chief Imagination Officer at FOREO. Now, in 2004, Philip, who is a serial entrepreneur and a technology enthusiast like many of you are here today, but he's also a human, and he's also a husband. And when he saw the opportunity to mix new technology and include it into his wife's beloved skincare routine, he thought this was the recipe for the perfect Valentine's Day gift. But it was not. You see, his wife's skin quickly showed him that nylon bristles and human skin are not a good match. But there was an interesting takeaway at that moment. A tool was more efficient than our hands at doing the job. But this just was not the right tool. So what does an entrepreneur do when this sort of opportunity presents itself? He pursues it. Now let's take a look at 5 principles that led from this eureka moment to a global customer base of 50 million users and a global skin tech empire. Number 1, clarity. silicone facial cleansing brush. You see, after 10 years after Philip realized that nylon bristles and skin were not a good match, FOREO did not go to market with a bioadaptive dermal interface, something more complicated. No, we call it a silicone facial cleansing brush. That's it. That's the entire product description. What it is, what does it do, what is it made of? All these questions are answered in just those 4 words. No buzzwords, no embellishment, no creative fluff, just basic human understanding. In my years overseeing the commercial strategy, I've learned that one of the most expensive mistakes a brand can make is forcing the customers to think. Cognitive fluency is the ease with which the brain processes information. When a product is easy to think about, our brain attributes that is to trust, safety, and high value. You see, by being literal, we were not just describing a product, we were manufacturing trust. Our users didn't need to learn what the Luna was, because they already knew. And that's how you start the journey from a niche invention into 50 million human faces. Now I need somebody from the front row to give me a hand. This is the Luna, and feel free to pass it around. Number 2, consistency. Look at this Luna. This is our first generation from 2011. Now look at this Luna. This is the 4th generation from 2022. Now you'll notice that we haven't released a Luna in over 4 years. And that's because when you are this close to perfection, new is often the enemy of better. Can you think of other products that have been so consistent, so visually consistent over so many years? The iPhone. Do we think this is a coincidence? Of course not. This is called the mere exposure effect. The more we see something, the more we like it, the more we trust it. Familiarity is not only a design choice, it is a commercial asset. We never wanted to be that latest gadget that ends up in a drawer somewhere. No, we wanted to be a non-negotiable staple of your everyday hygiene routine. Think of your toothbrush. It hasn't really changed in the last 80 years. And why is that? Because our brain doesn't want to relearn how to brush our teeth every morning at 7 a.m. Innovation is sometimes referred to as the new, but in commercial scaling, true innovation is the familiar enhanced. We don't want our customers to discover us across every touch point. We want them to recognize us. Number 4, loyalty. Now, in technology, there is a dark secret which we are all aware of. Planned obsolescence. Things are built so that they break, and we can sell the new generation. We've been conditioned to expect our phones to slow down and our batteries to die after 24 months. Now, at FOREO, we took a stand that many would call bad business. We built our hardware to last a decade. If our hardware lasts a decade, and the user doesn't have to take a new Luna for 10 years, I've already lost 2 or 3 sales opportunities, right? Well, that's wrong, because loyalty is the ultimate scale. Behavioral economics calls this the endowment effect, because after 3,000 mornings, the Luna is no longer just a product. It is a part of the user's identity. You see, by building for longevity, we were respecting the human desire for stability and quality, as opposed to today's digital world where the nature is disposable and there's an extinction of property. Durability gets you a lifetime value that no marketing budget can buy. Every Luna living on a shelf for 10 years is a shiny, 365 days a year, 24/7 billboard of FOREO's quality right there where our customers can see it. Planned obsolescence, that's for software. In hardware, Your greatest marketing tool is a device that refuses to die. And we don't really need to sell them in a new generation. No, we just need to be there when they are ready to add to their collection. Number 4, diversification. So if a customer doesn't buy a Luna for 10 years, how do we grow? How do we come from a single product into a global skin tech empire? The answer is strategic diversification. Because at FOREO, we're not just selling more stuff. We are expanding the ritual. We understand that buying that first device is a leap of faith. But we managed to leverage our product's radical clarity to win exactly 90 seconds of every user's time. And once we got those 90 seconds, we earned the trust transfer. Because the Luna didn't break, we didn't have to spend huge budgets to reacquire that customer. No, we just had to ask them for an additional 90 seconds for a hydration treatment with UFO or a microcurrent facial workout with Bear. This is called the brand extension equity. Because the first experience was flawless, the barrier for the second experience disappears. Over the years, we've created more than 80 devices that offer solutions to numerous skin concerns, but we always stay true to our principles. And here's the tip. Don't just diversify to find new customers. It is much faster and sustainable to solve problems, new problems, for the people that already trust you. Number 5, digitalization. We're not going to ignore that we do live in the digital age. So how did FOREO go digital? Innovation sometimes comes from inspiration, but more often it comes from necessity. In 2019, our devices went from analog to digital when we launched the FOREO for You app. The idea behind the app was to create a tool to verify the authenticity of every FOREO product. Because once the Luna took off, we were hit by a wave of fakes, dupes, low-quality copies. And we needed to ensure that the trust we worked so hard to build would not be tainted and that our customers would not be affected by these low-quality products. We created the app as a way to give every device a digital birth certificate. But very soon, the app became our most powerful tool because it created a direct line of communication between us and our users. It was bypassing the noise of social media and radically slashing the cost of talking to 50 million people. The app leveraged our products from one-size-fits-all to hyper-personalized, and it also provided us a way to offer value-added services. You see, the tool we built for protection became our most powerful engine of growth. So, to wrap this up, when I shared with you these insights, it might seem that FOREO has mastered the art of human psychology, and that every one of our choices was a carefully designed piece of behavioral design. But the truth is, it wasn't. All these insights that I've shared with you are after-the-fact reflections from watching 50 million users integrate our vision into their lives. We didn't set out to engineer behavior. We set out to solve a problem. Every insight that I've shared with you, clarity, consistency, loyalty, diversification, and digitalization, is just a different way of saying respect the user. We succeeded because we focused on the human problems that our devices were solving, the human needs our devices were fulfilling. We succeeded because the most valuable technology will always be that which makes you feel a bit more comfortable in your own skin. We succeeded because we built FOREO for the ritual, for longevity, not for an exit strategy. So as all of you here go and make the companies of the future, it's not enough to think, how can I change the world? You need to think, how can I make it better for the humans living in it? So if you want to win, bet on the human. Thank you.